Hello everyone, Tanak here. Welcome to episode 87 of Building My Industrial Empire in EVE Online. As you might have noticed, there's still no intro. I'm working on it. You'll get it sometime in the future. This is personally not my top priority right now, so it's gonna have to wait a little bit more. Let's start with the progress report. As you can see, my net worth plus that of the corporation is now at 190 billion ISK. If you look at the tracker here, you can see that there is a good progression compared to last week. So it's a steady climb. We are not at our peak that we were before we tried to invade Geminate, but we are still progressing at a good pace, I would say. If you want to look at the detail here, a big chunk of it came from Tanak, about 4 bill, which kind of doesn't make sense because I didn't play that much this week. I expected around 1 extra bill for me, not 3. Not 3 or 4 or not 4 like this. So either it's assets that are climbing or somebody contracted some stuff to me instead of the corporation. Maybe I need to check that out because I didn't expect it to be. I didn't expect that progression on my personal character. But I mean the number is what GV asset is telling me. So it's usually right. Erica has climbed a little bit. Part of that is a cerebral accelerator that I sold because I still had another person that used my referral link this week. So I'm getting close to getting a second Marshall, which is nice. Toy company progressed by 1.5 bill. I expected that one to be bigger, so that's why I'm thinking somebody might have contracted some stuff to me instead of the corp or something like that. And procurement division didn't climb that much. All in all, if we add everything together, it's about a 7 bill progression this week, which is pretty healthy. So all in all, a good week for the financial aspect. Now let's go look at HR. You can see that we are now at 306 members, so it's a +2 compared to last week. Some new member, some leaving, some old inactive member that we are kicking out. So general attrition, but our number are climbing a little bit. We can see in online presence that it is. I mean, we get a little more activity online, but we are still in the summer with the end of the lockdown. So if you look at the general player in the game, you see that there's a little quieter time during the summer. It is showing a little bit, but still, I mean, there's always people online, always people on com 24/7 in corp. So all in all, a good week, a little progression, but progression nonetheless. So still a good week. That's pretty much it for HR. War. Well, WOMP is not directly in a war right now, so I'll tell you a little bit about what happened in the coalition. There was a big battle between NSH, because NSH is supposed to be in war with the Wrecking Crew right now. We do have a problem with getting blue balled often. We call them no-show Naya Schlupen, but this fight they did show up and they got dunked pretty hard by Dreadbomb. WOMP unfortunately wasn't part of that fight, so we missed that one battle. But they did destroy 300 bill worth of capital ship. Another battle that we did that we did attend in WOMP. This was like a not a plan hop, but just a coalition ping that we sent people to, where we fought a group of Tengus and Lokis and Succubus. Our group were in Serb. I'm putting the one where I personally attended. That one we kind of fed a little bit with the Serb, but still, all in all, good fun. These coalition ping like that happen almost every day, every 2 days maybe in the coalition. So we attend with the people that we have online that can go every time. We're trying to. I'm trying to push my member to go attend those coalition ping, because one, it's healthy, it's content, it's good, and two, we have to do our duty as active member of the coalition, and it's fun. We do enjoy when we're going there. So the one issue that we do have is that they're often later during the night, and our peak time is the bridge between EU and NA. We're about maybe 60% EU time zone player and 40 NA, well, 40 others, because there are also a few Australian. And so when the ping arrive later at night, we have less people online. But all in all, we go when we can, and we usually have a lot of fun. I've shown another one here that we did attend, where we fought. We were in Tengus, and we fought a bunch of Munin from Test. Again, this was like a coalition ping where we sent a few people. I think we did have a little more, because Wump guys often play Logi, so they don't show up on battle report all the time. But all in all, it was like these kinds of fight happen often. This one we were fighting Test refugees backing from Delft. We do get these ping often, and they're pretty fun. And on smaller, we do have also smaller engagement like that. This one is like it's inconsequential fight, but these types of fight happen often, like we're a little group roaming our pocket, and we will form up and try to fight them when it's engageable. When it's not engageable, or like if we get a fleet of we just got a fleet, like I think it was like 10 people from Frat and Battleship, and we didn't have our guys were too spread, so we couldn't engage. But most of the time, if the fleet is engageable, we'll try to engage, because, well, we like those kinds of fight. So anyway, that's it. So no big strategic war. Well, this one was a big strategic win for the coalition. The rest for us was for WUMP was mostly participation in coalition ping and local fighting in our pocket. There was a huge battle in U-Q, which is 4 jump from our space. Test actually grabbed that system from Dracarys. They have a keep star there. At one point, there were more than 900 people in that zone. We actually noticed it because we started experiencing tie-dye in our own system here, and we went to look, and Test has a keep star here and another one on in Oh Shit. So there's a lot of traffic from Test right now in that area. Looks like it's one of their main logistic route to evac from Delft, from what we understood. So anyway, that's pretty much like the military situation here. For the rest, industry. That's the big thing this week. I did a lot of planning for industry. We are an industrial corp at heart, and one thing that got me interested in the game initially was industry. And I did put that aside a little bit because I was working mostly as a CEO. This week I updated my industrial spreadsheet because I said, oh, let's try to see how cap production evolve, because I was planning the next station that we want to anchor, the next rig that we needed to. We got a big roadmap of what station we need, what rig we want to have a complete industrial setup where we are. So I was doing some kind of planning and updated my spreadsheet because I wanted to build myself a Nidhoggur. Sorry. So I did a little research here to build my little Nidhoggur. So I'll show you in here. And basically, I'm calculating all my component here, but like before the big industrial change, you just needed component, and that was it. So you needed mineral, and mineral could build you a cap. But now you need the component, and you need some other types of component, which are here. And these other type of construction component and capital construction component and advanced capital construction component take a lot of stuff. Amongst other things, composite material, which is done by composite reaction, and hybrid polymer, which is done by hybrid reaction. And this other group here need the one that is done by the biochemical reaction. It is incredibly complex right now. So I did update TLDR because I could do an entire episode on just the building of a Nidhoggur a Nagelfar. No, Nidhoggur. I'm mixing the two. I could do an entire episode just on that. But what I did is I calculated the price based on what I do is I calculate the price based on GIDA mid of all the input material, the price of each component, the value of each component, the profit margin on each of these different components, and I try to see, okay, could I optimize this? Because I for example here, that specific graphene nano ribbon is losing 55% because the price of the gas is too high compared to the value of the material. So, okay, this one I would probably go buy that, and trying to calculate like this how I would go about building a capital ship. And my conclusion is, well, don't. It's as simple as that. There is no way to make money. The big reason, and Lazy Blacksmith will do a better job than me. So if you are buying, and okay, I assume that I had Max Research Blueprint building in an Asbel with T2 rig. So the best possible production setup that you could have. And if you go here and assume that you're buying everything at GIDA buy, which is a very optimistic assumption, because you will usually pay more than GIDA buy for all your component. So the way you set it up is here, you say, okay, I'm going to build it from a raw component just to give you an idea. Well, the total material cost, and that is using GIDA buy, and you will not get GIDA buy, okay, is 5 billion. And now they're saying here you're going to lose 20 because they're assuming that you're going to sell it at 4.6. But here, if you look here in contract, a Nidhoggur can get one for 2.9. So the thing is costing 5 billion on the most optimistic scenario to build if you're buying all the component. So if you're not going with gas is free, mineral is free, PI is free, you're saying, okay, I'm gonna buy the stuff at GDA buy price. And you probably won't. You probably pay higher than this. You are basically losing at least 2 billion per ship you're building. And the reason is that most of these are probably being sold from stock, and the stockpile are so large. If you look at some videos that I made a while back, I assumed that price would correct themselves a little bit after a while. Well, clearly this has not been the case. So there's a lot more lag in the capital market than when I expected. One of the reasons is, well, obviously the ability of the people to put those cap on grid, the ability to pay. So people, I mean, you cannot technically pay like, okay, imagine the cap fight here, but with cap valued at their real price. Well, we're talking 1 trillion and not 300 billion. so that doesn't work. No FC will put caps on grid if they're too expensive. So I assume that it would drive the price of mineral down, or the price of gas, the price of all the other commodity, but obviously it has not done that. Because, well, it's kind of a competition for people's time. Okay? I mean, if I had the choice between going to rat and make whatever 50, 60 million an hour, or go off gas, how much will I make off in gas? And people compare that time. So there's a big offer and demand. Right now, just the price, it just doesn't make sense from a production perspective. So I was thinking about giving myself like a personal project to okay, what can I do in game that would be fun? I could build myself my own carrier, have the fun of flying something I built. It's not worth it. I mean, honestly, if I want a carrier, I'll just go do incursion for a weekend and I'll buy one. And I could buy it right now, and it would make so much more sense than building one, which is in a way kind of sad, because it's a huge chunk of the new system that they made is more complex, is fun, is everything, but all in all, it just doesn't fit with the large stockpile that allow people, because obviously the people that are selling these capital, they didn't make them with the new system, because they would be, unless they enjoy losing money, they wouldn't sell them at this price. I mean, if I was super rich, I'd probably buy out the cap market. but anyway, I at that point I don't know enough about how many caps there are in the stockpile all over the place. But I know one thing though, is that if I want to rebuild one in Nidhoggur today, buying the material at GDA, it's going to cost me at minimum 5 billion. Minimum. Assuming fully researched blueprint and the best possible production infrastructure. And my own spreadsheet with more realistic price and not using GDA, I was closer to 8 billion that it would cost. So that's it. That's how I see how it looks. So I'm not gonna have a personal project of building one, at least not short term. Well, that's pretty much the discussion about industry. But what does it mean for WOMP and not for Tanak, who's not gonna build his Nidhoggur? Well, means that we're going to prioritize our setup for subcap 2. The other thing that we're working on right now is building our own Fortizar because we want a local market hub. We could buy one. We do have the money, but that we want as an alliance project to build our own one. So we are, I would say, maybe at 20% of the material gathered right now. It's a lot of PI material that we need, so most of our guys are setting PIs and getting ready. Hopefully we're gonna speed it up a little bit, just so that we can get access to a local market hub, which is really what we want, is to have the ability for ammo. Going with contract is not as fun as locally being able to buy your missile and your ammo. Anyway, that's pretty much it for now. What can you expect next week? Hopefully more progression, more member. When the summer is going to end, maybe membership will pick up. We do expect to start seeing some refugees from Papi who are going to look from other corp. The pieces are kind of starting to fall in place, and we do expect that. I mean, if you go by rumors, there's some corporation, some alliance in Papi where it look like they're disbanding or spreading, or everybody going their own way. Not all of them, but some of them. Again, it's not about the line member who might have. If you listen to all this story, it looks like some of the line member are kind of got the shaft a little bit, but that's, I guess, part of the game. It's just unfortunate. So if there's people looking for a new home, WOMP is welcoming. But that's it. Hopefully our number will get a little more people. We'll get a little more ISK, and we'll get a little better setup. So slow progression every week, and that's pretty much it for now. I hope you guys enjoy, and see you next week. Bye bye.